Today I'm going to be showing you how to attach binding to the product that you've been making. So let me show you this. This is a case that I've been putting together. It is just something that I've been playing with. There is no pattern for it. It's just an opportunity for me to get to know my new sewing machine behind me by making something that's just for her. And with the machine you get two boxes. This one here is for all of the feet and the additional plates, and then there's also one for the other accessories that you can put in the machine too. So I wanted to make something that would house each of the cases to keep it nice and safe. The reason why I made this pattern, apart from that, is because it gave me the chance to play with lots of the features on the machine and really put it to the test. So for example, I've done some foundation paper piecing here on the front panel. This is suede, so I got to play with the suede in that to see what the stitching would be like. I'm sure you can agree it's lovely. And then I went on to play with some free motion embroidery. Not the best, like I say, just playing, so it doesn't matter. So you can see that there are irregularities in it, but that's just part of the playing process and getting used to your machine, so that's absolutely fine too. I've obviously attached a zip that goes all the way around, and it's a double pull zip that you can just open from both sides, and then on the end there's a handle, and then inside, which is unfinished at present, you can open it up, and there we go, the lovely DeJaVu Nightshade fabrics. I played with some Lamifix, which I've never used before, so I've popped that onto the bottom, thus making it waterproof there and keeping it plain on this side here. I did actually attach a net pocket on here, but I've taken it off because I just didn't quite like it, to be honest. But what I want to do now is finish it off by attaching bindings to the inside, and I'm going to show you how. So if you think that's of interest and you want to stay with me, please do carry on to watch. If you find the content of this video interesting, do consider giving me a like and subscribe. And if you've got any questions at all, pop them down below in the comments. But without further ado, let's get on. Before we get started, I'm going to tell you what I'm wearing today, because people very often do want to know what you've made, knowing that you've made your clothes yourself. So this is the Arlo track set sweater top by Friday Pattern Company. It's a make I made just before Christmas now, so it is still relatively new and I'm really enjoying wearing it. I made it in three colours, so we've got this black colour to the top here, this nice teal jersey fabric, and then the white ribbing to go with a white tracksuit zip here and the white cuff. If I turn around, you'll see there's feature panels on the back too, making it a really cool, funky, modern make. And with it, although you can't really see, I am wearing my black jean Persephone pants. Okay, so what are we going to need to make this binding? I've made my own binding today. All you need to do is measure the circumference of your bag and add on about 6 inches. When you've done that, just cut out your fabric as one long continuous piece if you can, and in my case I've made it 2 inches wide. Now I'm not going to do traditional binding with this make. I'm going to take you on a journey and we're going to start simple first. So I've simply folded this in half lengthwise and ironed it to make it a nice strong crease. So that's your binding. If you want to use best press to keep it nice and stable, consider giving that a spray first before ironing it. Other things you're going to need: a friction pen, marker pen for the process when we come to joining the two ends together, a small ruler to make that marking, and some clips to hold it all in place. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn this beauty inside out so I can start working on it. My bag's now inside out, so I'm ready to start attaching the binding to this. So it's up to you whether you want to start on this edge here or one of the flat edges. I'm going to start on the gusset edge instead, and I'm going to start by attaching and clipping these raw edges to the edge, starting in the middle area, and I'm going to leave a tail yay long. That is, just to give you an idea, because I do say yay long a lot, I'm afraid, about 5 inches, and I'm just going to leave that hanging. And I'm going to work along and clip this all the way around. Work around the corners, or the curves, should I say. It's not really a corner. And use as many of these clips as you need. It doesn't hurt to have more rather than less. Just make sure that all those raw edges are together, nice and even. And just continue all the way around. So I've clipped all the way around, and you can see I didn't actually go all the way. I've left a gap, and that gap, when I measure it, is about 3.5 inches. If you want to leave it bigger, you can. In fact, let's do that now. If we look at the binding, the gusset here, if I said it's from start to end, and now we've got to work out how we're going to attach these two ends together to make it look really nice and neat. Before I join the ends though, what I find easiest to do is to start sewing this into place straight away. So I'm going to sew from the start all the way around, stopping just here, making sure that I reverse well on both ends just to lock those stitches. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use a thread. I'm using this Orifil cotton thread, which is a pretty good match, so it should sink in and we won't see any stitching later on. So I'm at the machine now. I'm using the Memory Craft 9480 QC Professional, and I'm working on just using the utility stitches as I get to know this machine. I've set the stitch length to a 3.5 whilst I base this into place. I've lowered the needle down and the foot is in place, and I'm using the walking foot to help me around all those tricky bends and work with multiple layers. I'm going to reduce my speed down so I have more control, and I'm going to go ahead and start working around, taking it steady as we work around the bends. You are working with many layers, so it's just a case of taking it steady and easing those fabrics around as you work. Each time I stop, when I start again, it automatically checks whether there's enough bobbin on the bobbin winder for me. That's what that little noise is in the background. And if it's unsure, it'll pop up a message asking me to check if I've got enough bobbin. So I'm just going to work my way all the way around now until I get to that last clipped area. This has all been sewn into place now, and I'm just left with these two tails, which we now need to join up in a really nice way. Don't be scared, it's not as hard as it looks. I know this puts a lot of people off. All you need to do is take one end and cut a piece off, like so. We're going to use that piece, so don't lose it. I want you to lay this piece into place and clip it. We're going to trim this piece off as it meets the other piece, removing it out of the way. We're now going to lay the other piece straight over the top, and I'm going to clip it. This is the tail. We definitely won't be using this piece. I want you to go to this side here where the original piece is, and I want you to take the scrap. I nearly lost it then. And I want you to open it up and lay it in the opposite direction along the edge, like so. Lining up that edge with this edge here. When you've done that, all you need to do is take your top layer and cut it along that line, like so. We can now remove that spare piece of fabric there. I've unpicked that a little bit. Luckily, because it was only on a 3.5, I was easily able to pull it away. Some people actually prefer to do all this measuring first, the bit that we're about to do, join the ends and then sew the whole thing into place. That's up for you to decide what works best for you. Anyway, back to the tutorial. So we've got these two pieces that we now need to join in a nice binding join. So all you need to do is take one piece, fingers in, and open it up like so. This is our crease here. Open up your next piece, and without flipping it, you're just going to offer it up and cross over like so. Let me do that again. Don't worry if you need to bend these, it's absolutely fine. So we've got two pieces here that are folded. This one I'm going to open it and bring it up. This one I'm going to open it and offer it straight on top, corner to corner. And you're going to pin or clip to hold those into place. I'm going to try with clips first, and if that's a little bit slippery, then I'll go in and use my pins. But you can see what we've got here now is a shape that looks a bit like the shape of an A. There's the arch going down, and what we're now going to do is draw a line straight across. So we've got the edge of our fabric just here, and the other side is over here, and we're going to use our fusible pen to draw a line straight across. It will be awkward because we have got all this pressure of fabric around us, but that's why we leave that hole so we can do this. So we're going to draw a line, and then we're going to sew the line. So that's been sewn into place. I sewed my A line straight across. I always like to give it a check first by pulling it into place and making sure it all looks right, which it does. When I'm happy, open it back up again, and I'm going to cut off any of that excess now. So about 1/4 inch away from the stitch line. And then you can mould and finger press that all into place. Might look a little bit beaten up like mine does right now, but it will be fine, I promise you. And then when you're happy, just ease that all back into place and stitch to hold to complete. So that's all sewn now. So all I need to do just to complete is to flip my binding over to the inside, work it into place and clip, working all the way around. If I've got any loose threads, I'll tidy them up as I go to make sure that it's a really lovely clean finish. Now I've got Lamifix on one of my layers, so I can't hand stitch this into place, it won't be very easy. But normally, without Lamifix, I would at this stage hand stitch this into place because I think it will give a lovely, crisp, clean finish, and it'll hide those stitches away. But for this occasion, I am going to use the sewing machine. I'll increase my stitch length, I'll have it on a 3.5 or a 4, and I'll just slowly work my way around. And the project will soon be done. This is what it's looking like, really nice. So I'm going to take it to the machine, and then I'll show you what it's like when that edge is done. Before I sew my binding on for this final stage, I've been considering the shape, the curve, and the kind of awkward angles that I'll be working with, and I've decided I'm going to change my walking foot. Now currently, so far, I've been using this one, which is much wider from left to right, so I've needed that where I've needed a lot of support and guidance on the way around. But now I'm working in intricate areas, I'm going to switch it to this walking foot, which is far narrower. I believe, and I haven't checked, I've got to be honest with you, but I think this is actually for zip insertion as well. But I've used this a lot on some bags I've been working on this past day or so. And I think that this is going to help me with those more intricate areas, still giving me the benefits of the walking foot function. So I'm going to attach this to my machine now and hope it helps me around those horrible angles I'm about to do. Wish me luck. Okay, let's go. Just want to work really close to the edge of the binding. So I'm just using my finger as well to push fabric across into place. If you've got an oar, it'd be really useful to use that. Mine's actually away right now being fixed. I'm going to have to accept that I might just have a bit of stitching show in place. So I've just hit something there. Let me just wiggle along. Not really sure what happened there, but it's absolutely fine now. It was definitely a bulky area though. I'm asking it to do an awful lot right now. If I'd have thought ahead, I should have perhaps put a fresh needle in. Certainly you're meant to change your needles about every 8 hours or after every project. Well, I've sewn for about 30 hours now on this machine, maybe more. And, oh, that hurt. And I've now completed this full project and a couple of other things that are hanging up on my wall, which I can't share just yet, I'm afraid. So just work all my way around. This is no issue whatsoever now. We'll soon be back at the start. People, I did it! Ah, I'm so pleased. It's done. Really happy. So this is the inside of the bag. I mean, I love it. Really, really pleased with it. So this is the lammy fix I keep mentioning. Let me know if you're interested in that. I do have some. And then this is the other side. And I just need to turn it the right way around now. So, like I say, this isn't a pattern that I've written up. It's just one that I've played with, I've developed as I've gone, and I just really wanted to practice playing with this new machine, the Memory Craft 9480 QC Professional. My God, I am so pleased with that. I think I might turn this pattern into a pattern as well, because I'm really pleased with this. I'm liking everything about it. It's got quite a nice modern feel to it as well, and I love my Tula Pink fabrics. So that's it all together. Tula Pink fabrics. So that's it all together, and that binding truly finishes that off, doesn't it? I'm really pleased. All I need to do now is pop my case inside. I am thinking of making a little something else for it yet, because I've got a bit of space in there. So I'm thinking of making something to go down here yet. Not sure what, but I'm really pleased with that. What do you think? I tell you what, I think this is a bee's knees, and just keeps everything really nice, safe and secure in my very own Tula Pink DeJaVu case. I hope you found that tutorial helpful. Thanks so much for watching.